You won't believe what's next. Uncle watched as the girl, still dreaming, returned from the hospital. The girl finally asked her long-standing question, and the street lights were like caring friends lighting the way home, while Ji Ming was like a detective, keeping suspense. But the girl's foot injury forced her to take a break, and Ji Ming, like an unbothered little cat, squatted down to keep her company while she repeated those words. She pulled out a noisemaker from her pocket, warning Ji Ming not to act recklessly, and ended up just reaching out and feeling a fluffy head. Like a Shar-Pei's skin, slightly dry, the girl leaned in slowly after confirming her shoulder. A captivating fragrance wafted into her nose, as if all the beauty in the world had been bottled up inside, and with each step, she seemed to uncover the girl's secret. She suddenly grasped the girl's fear of regret. The narrow stairway, adorned with flowers, seemed endless when viewed upwards. Right, so right. She couldn't help but playfully mess with the girl's hair again. Then they climbed the stairs, bathed in yellowish light, through flower beds, to a mysterious spot. So exhausted like a fallen monkey, her mouth was as stubborn as if she had drunk fake liquor. Guided by the girl, she found a boy by the roadside. The girl giggled, such a troublemaker. Reminded to be cautious, they reached her home with great effort. Ji Ming was breathless, clearly at his limit, while the girl laughed like a blooming flower, suddenly reminded of something. In the bathroom, Ji Ming was desperately rummaging, and shockingly found an object in the drain. It was a pair of triangle underwear. After his description, her expression was more dramatic than seeing a ghost. It was utterly unbelievable. She felt something indescribable within her, reminding her that it was indeed triangle underwear, and everything turned into a laugh-out-loud moment. To show gratitude, the girl took out 2 tickets from the sponsor. Learning Ji Ming had no friends, it was a sad tale. The girl reluctantly agreed to go with him, even though her legs felt like they were made of lead. Ji Ming was as excited as a little deer. Life finally saw a glimmer of hope, and for her afternoon date, the girl specially visited the barber shop at the corner. However, after the stylist's efforts, she couldn't escape the rule. Thankfully, the dress complimented the girl, making it all seem reasonable again. Ji Ming waited long, but complained not. When he turned to her, he was instantly frozen. The sunlight was just right, like a hen laying eggs, perfectly shining on the girl as they entered the sponsor's concert, listening to the honeyed songs. The girl clutched her hands, eyes sparkling, both smiling like sunshine, enjoying this beautiful moment. Leaving the concert, they felt reluctant. The girl even abandoned her cane, leaning on Ji Ming's arm. They walked down the street to a barbecue, where the girl sipped sake, feeling like in her dream. The grilling duties were all on Ji Ming, while the girl was merely the food critic, and they had plenty to chat about, with art and work becoming the main focus. But when the girl asked about Ji Ming's past, her expression shifted like a chameleon. Past events tugged at his heartstrings. The girl's expression showed disappointment, her mood like cold water splash. Their relationship, once flourishing, now feels increasingly distant. She felt perhaps she had overestimated herself, awkwardly touching her mouth but feeling a swirl of confusion inside. Ji Ming downed a cup of sake, his heart filled with grievances, like a boiled egg desperately struggling in helplessness. The girl grabbed her cane, reminding herself to be strong. Ji Ming was behind, so she politely turned to thank him. She felt guilty for having wasted so much of his time, her heart overflowing with dissatisfaction and a hint of grievance. Similarly, Ji Ming regretted his behavior during the meal as she turned around, gazing at him with anticipation, hoping he might comprehend. She seemed to be waiting, Ji Ming anxious, softly saying, "Good night," unsure of her forgiveness. Neither wanted this outcome. Her home wasn't here, but she'd still take a detour. Every time Ji Ming heard footsteps, he hoped she'd walk to him, knowing Ji Ming watched. She had always arrived at his place, life devoid of hope. On that flower-adorned staircase, it seemed the sunlight had abandoned her, leaving her with feelings of dissatisfaction, and her heart brimmed with discontent, feeling suffocated by this state as expectations faded from life. Her mood ebbed and flowed like the tide. The little joys of life had vanished, leaving behind confusion and perplexity. Ji Ming felt lonely, returning. How could he avoid the cold shoulder? Like surviving in the wilderness after a slap, he remained silent. It wasn't until all matters were raised that he fell into memories. He had quit boxing to become a debt collector. He confronted debtors directly, leaving the old man cornered as if devoid of compassion. Just as Ji Ming was about to strike again, a knocking sound came from the door, revealing the old man injured in the room. A nun was helping clean his wounds, and upon seeing Ji Ming's gloomy face, she curiously tilted her head. Hearing he had someone he liked, she handed him a headband of teachings. The netted headband was adorned with various patterns. It must look especially cute on the girl. When he opened the door, he heard a commotion behind him, and though he couldn't see, he politely said hello. The company team leader was drunkenly furious, clearly angry about the girl's no-show, and with no preface, he yanked the door open. The girl poured juice, but the team leader's midnight visit was not for her tea. His words were inappropriate. It was utterly exposed, and the leader let out a subtle, sly smile. At that moment, he noticed the gift under the table. It had been a week since he gave it to the girl, but it still remained unopened. Proudly recounting his domestic violence exploits, he pulled out a necklace and without any boundaries began measuring it against the girl's chest. The girl found it utterly baffling, but the necklace struck the team leader's face, and with a slap, she fell to the ground. The girl, now shrouded in darkness, could only step back timidly. Every word from that guy felt like a blade, and she quietly groped around. She opened the fridge behind her, searching for a weapon, but after a long while couldn't find anything to fight back with.